This is my brother the Parasite, and this is just how it starts. So, they found him this morning, half naked and hidden in the underbrush. Oh, the autopsies declared the death an accident, examined and determined the corpse was infected, and the handler brought me in speak with it after half day of questioning. The handler? His handler. Oh, okay. We'll take this one step at a time, she reassures me. She's a stocky woman in her early 40s, kind face, thin hair, worry lines etched in her skin from years of dealing with people like me. They deepen as we make eye contact. And if you want to stop at any time, tell me. You are under no obligation to stay. She's right. I don't have to do this. I can go home right now. Call the station and let them cremate the body. And tell them to cremate the body. It's not my fault he's gone. I don't need closure. I need him scrubbed from my memory with bleach and steel wool. Could you explain things again for my own sake? Of course, ma'am. More commonly known as the ghost fluke or dead worm, is a parasite found within the central nervous system of mammals. Infections with humans are common, excuse me, and often unnoticed as they typically cause no harm to its host. Okay. In the event its human host dies, the ghost fluke will continue to stimulate the central nervous system. The host's body continues to rot, but it retains a similar level of speech and higher thought as when living. This is most useful in cases of foul play, but it can be used in form of closures of the deceased family. Okay, this is fucked. Due to decomposing brain matter, the host's memories may not be completely intact. The vocal cords may also suffer from early decomposition. Please be patient, willing to elaborate and avoid potentially distressing topics of conversation. As parasites require a living host, parasite will perish after about 7 days. Afterwards, the body will cease functioning. If given the consent of next of kin, the body can be cremated and prematurely end its life cycle. Does that make sense, ma'am? My mouth is dry. I think so. She leads me to a freezing room sectioned into two halves by glass and paper curtain. Oh, I can't read this. It's like we're kids again, stuck in a shoebox of a bedroom together and obsessively dividing it in two. It's not fair, you'd complain. I'm older, I deserve more. On my half, there's a folding table and two chairs, fake potted plants, and an analog clock that's an hour off. I can barely make out the other side of the room. Uh, but I notice the silhouette of a man through the curtain. Him. It's for your own sake, she says. After I ask about it. The freezing temperature slows decomposition, but he was far from presentable. I don't want your last image of him to be a bloated, rotting corpse. Parasite-ridden body. A centerpiece for nightmares. I'm sure you have enough of those already, her eyes say. It's the last time you felt safe in your own skin. I blink. Thank you for clarifying. The chair creaks as I sit in it. Metal jabs in my back, and I shift around once, twice, three times, unable to get comfortable. He's waiting. Is it my fault there's no sound? Because I just feel like there should be sound. Brother. Enos? He drags out my name like he's recalling how to say it. From behind the curtain comes a harsh cough, something akin to clearing your throat. Hey, I tap my fingers on the table. I came to see you. What happened? You're dead. You were drinking. My tone is accusatory. I swallow it down. Yeah, he shifts in his chair. It is uncomfortable. But I drink he shifts in his chair. Is it uncomfortable? But I drink most nights. What changed? You tell me. I think I choked. Alone. 5 days ago, you stumbled out of a shitty bar into your dinged up pickup truck. The road's always clear at 3 a.m. Nobody noticed you speeding down pothole ridden streets. Anyone who saw it didn't care. At some point, 30 minutes commute back home, you pulled over and climbed out of your car. Also, not uncommon. When we were kids, the sheriff would call me and your mom would pull off whenever a piece of public property you draped yourself across. You crawled into the dewy grass and laid there, like you were already dead. You stared up at the stars through the trees and could not help yourself when you started choking on your own vomit. And trying to purge the poison, your body killed you. It took police 4 days to notice your car and corpse. Were you lonely? I think I choked alone. It's coming back, that's good. There's a lot. Do you remember what you did to me? Silence the confirmation that no, he doesn't. Voice rough, yes. Could you be more specific? My mom struggles to finish the sentence. How you hurt me. He's quiet again, contemplative. I punched you in the chest. You were 8, I was 13. You knocked the wind out of me. I collapsed on the floor, gasping in tears, trying hardest to force air back in my lungs. You brought me half mango as an apology and begged me not to tell Mom. I don't remember what I said, only reaction and subsequent revulsion when you realized just how much it hurt me. Your little sister, how could you hurt your little sister? You promised it never happened again. You made that promise 100 times. That's not it. Oh, was it something like that? I guess. My eyes burn. It happened a lot. It did. It didn't get better, did it? No. When did we last speak? It feels like yesterday. Years ago. What do you remember? Our last conversation ended in screaming. You wanted to leave, you did leave. I hated you for it. His voice wavers. She needed us. 18, I got accepted to a big name university, scholarship and all. My chance at freedom. 3 months earlier, my mom got diagnosed with lung cancer. Arguably, we both needed to be there to support her. And maybe if things were normal and nice, I would have agreed, but they weren't, so I didn't. She died before I could visit, so I never did. If I never came, if I never come back, she's not really dead. Oh well. Well, I'm here now. It took too long and everything but me is gone, but I'm here. You left first. Age 13, you joined the age 15. You joined the army at 18 and abandoned me for 4 years. I hated you for it. I never got an apology. I never got a reason. I needed you. I needed you and you left. That's not it either. I said I was sorry. Sorry tastes like ash on my tongue. I owe my life. I owe her my life and my name. What do I owe you? Nothing. Everything. Did you mean it? No. At least I said. At least I pretended. I had nobody without you. Why? A girl, wet and terrible. I, his flesh drags against the table, mirroring my own rhythmic tapping. Lost in thought, he doesn't finish the question. I reply. It's in there somewhere. More silence. More silence. I imagine his face something up like it used to be when we were kids, and he thought real hard about something or other. Bloated skin, pulling taut, guided fragments of muscle memory. He says nothing more. The handler is quiet as she leads me out of the room. Through the building back to the door, she asks, "Will you be back tomorrow?" And my tongue is too heavy to reply. I shake my head yes. Miss Alvarez, I hope he finds what you're looking for. I hope something helps. I hope you can leave him behind, but you won't be able to. Please take care of yourself. I drive back to my hotel in silence. My mind returns to where it happened. In church, next to the cemetery, surrounded by a field of green, chain link fence, and a room of many pews. Light filters through the stained glass window, bathing it in gold. And the woman within, in gold. I've been there many times. On Sundays, in dreams, nightmares, never alone, always following. Will I ever leave? When you learn forgiveness, says the woman in gold, not for him, but for yourself, you must let your wounds knit back together. Time will see you healed. Time did not make me forget. It did, my love, like mesh filtering debris. I am sorry, only the hurt remains. I don't want an apology. I want it to stop. I know. But you confess nothing, my love. You held your hate inside, and suddenly it was too late. I was gone. Shattered glass and broken floorboards. He turned my body so it wouldn't come back. He burned my body so it wouldn't come back. She would have understood you. You tell yourself, why didn't I say anything? You always loved him more. If that makes it easier. It doesn't. It doesn't. The receptionist calls my name. Same woman from yesterday greets me. Her eyes looking more tired. Somehow, instead of reassurance, she prods at me with well-placed small talk. No doubt trying to gauge my mental state. Whatever lies I spout put her at ease. It should be harder to fool her, right? Eventually she asks, were you too close? Very close. Too close. There are hands on my throat. Yeah, of course. That's why I'm here, I guess. Who else but me? She smiles and gives her sympathies. We return to the freezing room where the clock is behind and the curtains are still drawn. It hasn't changed. Why would it? I remind myself to stay cordial. Be kind. It's not his fault he doesn't remember. It's normal. It's normal. Repeating something doesn't make it true. The chair scrapes against the floor as I sit down. His silhouette shifts. Silhouette. Oh, Jesus Christ! Fucking. That is the awful time for a test of the emergency alert system. Okay. Why? Why did that have to happen right now? Not only that, but like the first thing that popped up was in Spanish. I had to go to the second, like had hit OK to go to the second one for it to be in English. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Anyway, so shift's lean close to the thing last separating us. You came back. He says quietly, almost too quiet for me to hear. I had to. I had to eventually. I joke. He doesn't reply. Just inhales sharply. I swear I can hear his ribs creaking, straining against the confines of his chest. I pursed my lips. Feeling any different? I'm going to die soon, he mumbles. You're already dead, I say. I'm not trying to be reassuring. The rest of you is just catching up. Will you miss me? I don't know. How do you not know? Because I don't. It's not that simple. You've never been that simple. Because I miss Mom. It's easy to miss her. Because I miss being small. Or at least when I understood less. Less than the worst pain I knew was a scraped knee. Because I do miss you, but not you. Because I miss the part of you that taught me how to tie my shoes or drive a car. I miss when you were sweet to me. When you pretended to be. It's not a question of mourning. Because you're my brother. I'll always mourn you. There will be a piece of me that's missing you now that you're dead. Maybe that means you aren't dead at all. It's not a question of love. I love you more than anything and anyone in this world. It's unconditional. It's maddening. I wish I could rip out the love I have for you. Missing you, though? Really missing you? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it's better that you're gone. I don't mean to say it. What? His voice drops low and trembling. Why would you... I know that tone. I know that tone. It still sends a shock of ice in my veins. If I were younger, I'd shrink back, apologize more times than worth counting. Praying for forgiveness, devastated that I upset you. Now older, but still younger than you, I state. You know why. It's in there somewhere. He takes a moment before he starts up. We used to be so close. You slept in my bed when you were scared. You kicked in your sleep, begged me not to leave, cried and begged me not to leave. But when I did, you didn't write me a single letter. Mom said you never wanted to see me again. He's rambling now, the holes in his brain removing any filter. That's when I thought, when did I try to keep so hard to keep you safe? Why did I do everything for you? If you're just going to throw it back in my face like some ungrateful, spoiled brat. He doesn't need to breathe, but I can hear him gasping. If his blood vessels still worked, he'd be red in the face. Voice rough and dripping with malice, he spits out. I should have killed you. I had so many chances. I should have killed you. And I interject. That's why. He laughs. His chair squeals as it's shoved away. Something hits the glass in front of me with a forceful thud. He screams. He sobs. He laughs. He screams. He sobs. He laughs. He screams. He sobs. He laughs. He screams. He sobs. The window shakes. The window shakes once, twice, thrice, but holds firm. When he realizes it isn't breaking, he coughs out. I want to see you. I want to see you. No. Isn't that why you're here? Isn't that I want to see you one last time before you're already dead, I repeat reminding myself. I'm not. I'm still here. Why am I still here? Why am I still here? The door shuts behind me. But I can still hear him screaming. Every muscle in my body is tense and aching. My mouth is a thin line that twitches into a frown. The nail of my thumb digs into tender flesh of my pointed finger. The handler beside me, leading me away from my brother in his outburst. His eyes are wide. Hasn't stopped apologizing, spouting excuses. They don't usually act like this. I'm sure it meant nothing. He loves you. It's just a big change. Please keep in mind. By the later stage, the condition will have a severe impact on most aspects of a person's life. A person's spoken language will eventually be reduced to only a few words or lost together. Aggression is often a reaction to personal care. Restlessness is also very common. Sometimes a person may seem to be searching for someone or something. It's important to look beyond the words, behaviors you see to the feelings that the person might be trying to express. And none of it helps. Wait until he dies. Then cremate him. The body. I want him to waste away. I want him to be afraid. I can't bear the thought of killing him. I drive back to my hotel in silence. I scream into my pillow and fall asleep. Jesus. He stands before me, golden light framing him like a halo. He does not speak. He does not move. He's waiting for me to fall in line. Time makes it easier. My body healed. There are no scars. There are no aches. There's nothing but unblemished skin slowly losing shape. It knows it wasn't meant to live this long. In my mind, though, there are 100 million reminders that set it aflame. There are sounds that make me jump, phrases that make me sick, parts I can no longer touch. You ruined me. You fucking ruined me. What did I do to deserve it? Please just tell me. Please. I hate you. I hate you. She always loved you more. It takes me 3 days to leave the house. I don't shower, I don't eat, I don't sleep. It takes me 3 days. I don't. Oh, okay. I spent my day shifting in my hotel room waiting, paralyzed by fear. The phone rings countless times. I can't answer it. I can't be asked if I'm coming back. I can't. I should have killed you. I know I'm safe. I know, but the fact that it said it makes my skin crawl. Still takes pleasure in making me feel small as a corpse struggling to remember anything. Makes the world feel faint. He remembers me. He remembers how scared I was. He can't hurt me anymore. He'll be gone in a few days. Seeing him was a mistake. He'll be dead in a few days. Seeing him was a mistake. Visiting him was a mistake. Why did I think he'd be different? Why am I so hell-bent on forgiveness? I should be happy he's gone. I should be thankful he's dead. There should be nothing left but venom. I suppose it's to be easy. It's supposed to bring me peace. What he has done besides teach me a million ways to hurt. I was supposed to die before you. That's how it goes. That's how it's meant to be. I didn't. I'm sorry. Again, my phone rings. I answer. I'm greeted by a man with a familiar voice. I think he delivered the death notice. Or maybe he questioned me. Or, Miss Alvarez, he speaks slowly, firmly, but his voice shakes. He's panicking. Why? This is she. We're calling updating the status of your brother. Has the parasite passed? Maybe it's better if it has. I want to say. The words catch my throat as I stifle a cough. No. No, your brother, he. Take a deep breath, like ripping off a band aid. He's missing for about 30 hours. Police are currently looking for him. Jesus. We're doing our best to resolve this. If you have any leads on where he might be, I hang up. I hang up, let my phone fall to the side, and I throw it across the room and it rings again and again. I slid in bed for another half hour before reality sinks in. Missing. I laugh. I laugh. I giggle at first, quite quiet and disbelieving, but it bubbles up into a crackle as suddenly I'm doubting, doubled over and shaking. 30 hours. 30 hours. 30 hours they lost a body and locked inside of a room instead of a building filled with people. Living, perceptive people, and he's missing. Who let this happen? Where did it go? The laughter subsides, my stomach hurts, my head is pounding, my chest is tight. They're not going to find him. If he was remarkably good at escaping police, apparently in death he's even better. 4 days to find his body, missing for 30 hours in a town where everyone knows each other. I guess nobody knew him besides me. I throw on a pair of shoes and ratty windbreaker. I'm greasy, I'm exhausted, I'm starving. I'm out the door and starting my car in minutes. They won't find him, but I will. Think where you would go if you were a shambling corpse, barely hanging on to your previous life. I would go. Somewhere safe, somewhere familiar. When we were kids, this place was a diner. You went to church with the owners. You and the son were best friends. You disappear for a weekend and go hunting or fishing or stay the night. Normal things. I liked when you were gone. I fell asleep on the couch waiting for you to return. When we were kids, the diner was decorated with talking fish, deer antlers, and a mirror of an Appalachian mountain stretched across the back walls. Just behind the counter hung a collection of Polaroids, candid shots of customers and friends, pictures of deer carcasses, kids in camo and work boots. The diner shut down when the son of the owners ran away and died of an overdose. Not sure who bought it, gutted it, and turned it into something unrecognizable, but now it's a shitty bar that plays shittier music. And your best friend ran away. Not the shitty music. The only place in town where you can get a decent hookup and enough alcohol to make you forget. I wander inside, the dimly lit, nearly empty, save for a woman bartending. She asks me as I walk in and then grimaces from behind her cigarette. I take a seat in front of her. What'll it be? Just water. She lets out a sigh and gets to work. I take another look at her on the bar, still empty, filled with smoke. She sighs my drink and goes back to ignoring me. Hey, I take a sip. Has anyone weird come in recently? She shrugs. Just you and... he's usually pretty dead until 9, 10-ish. Are you a cop? I shake my head. I'm just looking for someone. My brother. He likes this place, so I thought maybe. Well, I guess I thought wrong. He stops by, I'll let him know. What does he look like? He has a kind smile. My mother's eyes, my mother's eyes, my mother's eyes, my mother's eyes. Something terrible is just beneath the surface. Oh, it's fine. He'll turn up eventually. I'm sure he'll come stumbling home, drunk off his ass. If he's that type, she tacks on. Most people who come here are not that type. Or are that type, she thinks, stealing another drag. That's a bad habit, I mumble. Tars up your lungs. She sighs. I'm trying to quit. Hope you're able to. I leave 20 on the table and head back to my car. I would go somewhere safe. When we were kids, Mom would kick us out of the house during the week so we could go get fresh air and sunshine. There ends up in a bus stop. By us, so we settled for walking half a mile into the woods behind our house, hand in hand. Cobwebs hit our face, poison ivy scraped our ankles, and ticks tried their damnedest to bite us. When we were kids, we found a small clearing just off the haunting path. Hunting path. We propped up a fallen branches and covered it with a tarp stolen from the garage. It shielded us from the summer rain shine until a strong wind collapsed on top of me. We always built it again. I'm not sure how I knew where to go, but the path is a tangle of bramble and moss. Muscle memory leads, and I follow. Nothing remains of our old fort, save for a trace of dirty blue plastic beneath mulch. The tarp crinkles as I grab it, pull my fingers around the dust and dirt and leaves. Bugs scuttle back into the shadows. A small pencil box beneath it, half buried, plastic is scratched and the colors faded. A faded sticker declares it as the property of Ines J. Alvarez. It opens without a problem. Just try it. Close it. I brought these back for you. Did you... Why didn't you write my name in any letters? Close it. Cold metal against my throat, pressing firmly, never breaking the skin. A warning. Makes my tongue seize, the eyes water and I cough. Matt, asking for water, you laugh and ignore me. Heavy around my neck, constant reminder. Close it. Old pen fuzz clicks shut. I step away. He isn't here. There's no reason to linger. I return to my car. Where would you go if your shambling corpse barely hanging on to your previous life? If the only thing you had left was a little sister who grew up knowing her blood would feed your field. It haunts her dreams with saints made of stained glass and unanswered prayers of repentance. She loves you. She cannot look you in the eye. Was I supposed to accept my fate, play my role in the hundred times we practice? Would you have wept when my body stilled for good? Would you have begged forgiveness from my corpse, struggled to remember? Would you burn my remains too? I know where you are. There's a hole in my head. Everything grows around. Fields green called your own. Where you led it and I followed. Lessons embedded in my mind. History you were determined to repeat. Where is he? A place you left behind. A place I am trapped. Uh-oh. I found him at dusk, waiting before the remains of a pulpit. I don't know what happened to this place. Maybe he did once. In a church next to a cemetery surrounded by an overgrown field and rusted chain-link fence is a room of many pews. Half destroyed, half covered in dust, the immensity of its abandonment. The last light of the day filters through the windows, bathing this room in gold. And him in gold. I've been here many times. He stands before me. Fading away motionless, I say, "You're here." He turns up towards me, all this rotten glory. His skin is yellow and gray, dark veins visible beneath the waxy surface. Tiny holes dot his face, burrowing maggots. One of his eyes is gone. The other bulges and stares straight through me, sunk into his skull. The stench of rotten meat tears through my nostrils and makes my stomach churn. Innes? Time has taken its toll. His voice is far hoarser. Black liquid drips from his mouth when he talks, coating his chin. He can barely stand upright. I thought you might be here. I'm sorry, he spits, lurching forward. I step back. It's instinct. Nothing good ever happened when he's close. I'm sorry, he repeats. I'm sorry, he insists. I'm sorry, he repeats. I'm sorry, he insists. For making you leave. I know. It's okay. It's not. He'll never understand, though. He opens his mouth and interrupted by a full body shudder. He stumbles to catch himself and tilts his head, continuing staring at me like I'll take off running. But I force myself to breathe evenly. What can I say to make things better? Do you want to go on a walk? I gently asked, taking another step back. Like when we were kids. He takes a moment to register, but he nods, slow and stiff. His lips split into a smile. That would be nice. I swallowed down the rising vomit and reply, lead the way. He passes on an unsteady stride, allowing his remaining memories to pilot him out of the church to his backside. He doesn't notice when I linger behind for a moment. He doesn't notice when I bend down to take a piece of debris in my hand. A stone fragment scrapes against my skin, heavy, foreign, an unfamiliar weight I was never meant to know. He says nothing when I rejoin him. When we were kids, small kids, we would play in the field between classes at Sunday school. We made daisy chains and whistles with blades of grass between our thumbs. Green stained the hem of my nice dress and your button down. Much to her annoyance, we played until it got dark, and then some. And you walk in front of me now. Years older, but still the same path, taking the same path. And I, years older, but still younger, walk behind like I did when I thought the world of you. Only now there's no question of what happened to me, what will happen to me. 100 promises you've always broke. I'm sorry for everything. I want to live. She always loved you more. She always loved you more. My body slams into you. My body slams into my brother and sends him tumbling to the ground, reeling. He doesn't realize what's going on, not until I climb up top and raise the stone over my head. Something clicks and it remains of his silent things switch on, so he fights back. But his muscles are jelly and adrenaline is running on empty. He tries fighting back. My hand catches his, shoves it into the earth. Pinning him down, thrashes in desperation, in fear. There's a moment that stretches out, my body's weightless, my vision is blurred. It seems like rotten fruit sewage, raw meat festering beneath the hot sun. My brother's mouth moves, begging for his life. The moment passes, and my other hand comes down, again, and again, and again. I think he gurgles out, "Stop, please," but I can only hear it. I can hardly hear it over the sound of bared teeth and blood pounding, and the ache of my grip on your wrists. This is what it felt like. Hands on my throat, crushing my windpipe, choking. Again, and again, and again. I don't want to die. I stare up at the stars and pray you'll stop. You stopped, but I won't. I won't give you another chance. Black on my hands, his skull sunken in. My brother. Oh God, my brother. At least I knew how to stop. Again, and again, and again. And what have you done? What have you done? What have you done? I do not know. Anger fades into a simmer. Exhaustion seething, my grip loosens on the bloody stone. Tooless sacrifice, first murder. Slips from my grasp. I pull myself from his battered remains. I double over and retch until I puke nothing but stomach acid and saliva. The acid stench mixed with the sweet rot hanging in the air. I shudder. I shudder and cough and heave, bracing myself. My chest struggles to pull air back into my lungs. Blades of grass thread between my shaking fingers, tearing like paper as I curl them. I cannot bring myself to look at what remains, but I know. His brains his brain is destroyed. The remains of my coat hangs alongside his rotting skin. Oh God, congelated blood. We'll have to identify him by his teeth. Pieces of him reflect on my clothes. My brother. My face. My skin. It's in my blood. No matter how hard I scrub, I will never be clean. He is dead, and I am no less alone. In the field, beside my brother, I lay on my back and stare up at the stars. My brother, the parasite. Part 2 of the Growing Pains collection. I don't know how to say that. Kuroskan? That was wild. I mean, when I read in the content warning, when I gathered that the brother sexually assaulted the sister, probably in that church, and she left, and the mother died. The mother didn't believe her, or something like that. The brother eventually died, and she had to come to terms, you know, with the fact that he died, and she never got. I don't know. Nothing ever became of what happened to her. That was very good. That was quite the story to go through. Wow, I enjoyed that. Very thought provoking. Ooh, I think I'll check out the first one of the Growing Pains collection. I wonder if it's a prequel to this. Maybe, I don't know. But I don't know. Check out the first one, guys. I recommend it. This one was good. Thanks again for sticking this through with me. Oh my God, I can't talk. All right, see ya.